many specs that are failing.
Yeah. So let me share my screen and I'll show the issue that I'm looking at.
Great.
I'm gonna go to the issues assigned to me.
Yeah.
Let me get out of Slack.
Yeah, and we can try it again. We can try the changing into runAllTimers because I did it quickly and I was like, this didn't work. But I mean,
yeah, we'll check it out. So
yeah. Okay.
This is a flaky spec in Jest, which is extra concerning because karma specs are known to be flaky because specs bump into each other. This means that we have a spec itself that's not quite cleaning up itself.
Oh. But
a lot of the issues have to do with running all-timers. Whenever we call run all-timers, it looks like we run into this infinite recursion and bailing out. And this can happen. What were we gonna say?
Sorry, I lost you for a second because my internet. What'd you say? The last minute.
Oh yeah. So it looks like this spec is whenever it does flake out, it's flaking because run all-timers. This run all-timers will just keep running as long as it finds timers on it. So it runs all the timers that we've set, and then after it runs those, it sees, do we have more to set, and we run it. For things like a debouncer or a polar, it can cause these kind of issues if you're not careful. So Jest has another cool function called runOnlyPendingTimers. That's the first step where we just see whatever was registered, we're just going to run it. Yeah. And then we don't recursive call. So going to our code base. Oh man, what? Why did you reject my push? I'll deal with that later. Okay. All right, going to our code base. No, I don't know if I want to say this or not. Okay. We have so this seems to be where it's failing. After each, it says, give promises a bit more time so they fail the right test. Oh, and that's really helpful of making sure that a failure isn't happening outside of the test that it happened on. That's really helpful. Okay. But it says that here it looks like we want to also then run whatever timers we set so that we're just going to flush out our calls and make sure we didn't leave any erroneous behavior behind or whatever. Okay. Is that why it's run all timers and not just... So I don't know. I kind of feel like it should have been run only pending timers. Yeah. So we can try to make that change. I'd like to try to see if we can recreate this flakiness. Yeah. Were you able to recreate it? Yeah. You just run it and literally it fails. Wow. So how come it actually works sometimes? I have no idea. It's really weird. And also, I mean, I guess the spec also has the just run all timers. When I change this to run only pending timers and remove the all timers, then I got a different kind of failure. You know, like it was supposed to be called but not called. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's dive into this. Might be a good one. I guess we can't really say this is Jest as pairing. Maybe we should call this test pairing. I don't know. Yeah. Agree. Oh my goodness, it's taking its time. Okay, so it works for me. What? Weird. Okay, now I feel like I'm gonna quickly run it on mine. So maybe if I run a whole bunch of them, maybe that's related to, like maybe I should run the whole IDE directory. Yeah. Let's see, it's on this spec. See, I'm running it too. Huh. Okay. I had the failure. Weird. So it is failing for you. Yeah, let me make sure that there's not like, huh. And it's failing on run all timers, or? So let me run it again. It's now failing on, let me make sure I didn't have a weird change because that's failing on something else. Yep, it's running on run all timers. Wow. Weird. Is it?
Are
Oh my
you
gosh, this is taking forever.
Yeah. Oh man.
Why is it this is taking too long. Oh no.
This is weird.
Oh, okay, I picked it up. Oh my gosh, look how that is a really slow spec.
Yeah. Huh.
We should probably fix that too. Anyways, yeah, so it's like working for me. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do it.
I'll do that. Cool. All right. So this is the right spec, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'll run it again. So silly question, but is there any difference between running it with like the -F rather than run that could be?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I know.
You don't have anything forced, or you're on master, and you don't have any changes on.
Nothing.
Okay.
This is so weird.
That is weird.
Okay.
Why would it? I'm probably not up to date with master. I'm probably out of date.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'm also not even on master. Yeah, I'm clearly having issues. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, let me.
I'm gonna open this up.
I'm updating with the most recent master, and then I'll run it.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll go ahead and do what you're doing. You're doing yarn run Jest -F.
Yeah.
I don't think does that -F actually do something? I thought that was just we just used it for karma. But I guess
so weirdly, I use run for karma and -F for Jest. Huh.
Nice. It's failing for me. Okay. All right.
Okay, cool.
I have to see if this -F thing's doing anything, because if it is,
okay. Now
I'm not
I know.
gonna
Now
what
I have to
doing.
do it too.
Okay, it's consistently failing for me.
Okay, cool.
We can try to solve it on your screen or solve it on my screen. Your call.
As you wish. I'm on my laptop. So I might be a bit.
Let's keep it here. Let's do it here. It'd be cool.
Cool.
So if we do change runAllTimers to runOnlyPendingTimers, and
where was that? Remind me where that was.
It's in the, I think it's test_setup.
Oh man, the fussy finder is not.
Oh no, it's probably not test setup. Sorry.
It's okay. The fussy finder is not that good. I need to clean up my Vim config at some point.
It is test setup. So it's in the spec front end test setup.
Okay, spec front end test. Sweet. Okay, so let's just switch this to run only pending timers, right?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm 70% certain that's the right function.
Okay. Should I remove just there's a runAllTimers here. Should we remove this one, or should we leave it?
Let's can we X out this spec? Let's do that first.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, let's X out this spec. And then let's see what we can do to make this one working.
Cool. All right. Let's see what happens here. Oh man. Oh wow.
And it worked.
Well, I mean, I guess the rest of them did. Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
So now should we check this one out?
Yeah, let's do it. And if we change runAllTimers to runOnlyPendingTimers, does that do anything? And then I'd like for us to dive into the actual issue at hand and then talk about what's the best way for us to do testing with these debounce stuff.
Cool. Let me rerun this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I guess, I mean, I don't know if then you would consider this tech debt, but I guess, I've been mocking the debounce thing. Okay, so this is a failure I saw.
Okay. And it's because it's probably because we haven't waited long enough. Like I bet if we copy runOnlyPendingTimers, like and call it 3 times, like I wonder if it'll work. But that's not the solution.
No, I would hope not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm curious. So you're talking about mocking debounce. That makes a lot of sense because we don't need to test debounce. Like we don't need to test the functionality of debounce. It's one way of looking at this. Another way of looking at it is, well, it's part of the component's contract that when the input changes, like debounce is more of an implementation detail. Like we could consider the fact that there's this delay as part of the component's contract. I have a personal preference against mocking things as much as possible. Like only do it if we absolutely have to.
Okay.
So if there is a solution here, maybe what we could do is abstract some sort of test helper that helps us test things when they're debounced.
Okay.
So another thing instead of runOnlyPendingTimers we can do is, let me see if I can find the function. I think it's like advanced timers by time. These are some
timers by time.
These are some wordy functions. Advanced timers by time lets you. So I would do runOnlyPendingTimers here in the test setup, but in our other one, we can do advanced timers by time.
Advanced timers by time.
And then throw in the milliseconds that were.
Okay, which is.
I think it's 250 because I remember looking at it when we were talking about it, but let's do something ridiculous like 1,000 right now.
Okay, cool. So out of curiosity, why do you have a personal preference against mocking? So I can learn about this. Yeah,
so I highlight it as this is a personal preference because I think that people fall into different camps of it. Oh man, it's not working. I think that I've seen a lot of tests where we've mocked so much that we're no longer testing anything that's actually going to look real.
Okay.
And so I get nervous when we do mock and I like using this phrase of collaborators. I try to use real collaborators as much as possible. When things cross like some sort of architectural boundary, like we're talking to the back end or I'm doing some really heavy native DOM thing, that's worth mocking out for sure.
Okay.
But then everything inside of me, like let's try to keep it as real as possible. And rather than mocking it out and just say, hey, did I pass these parameters in there, which isn't really a guarantee that I passed the right parameters. It's just that I passed these parameters.
Yeah.
I feel like when you keep real collaborators, having those issues come up is helpful. But there's a downside because it can take a little bit more time because for some, especially if there's some, sluggish part of your code that you want to collaborate with, like, hey, do I use a real store or a mocked store? And there could be a little bit of extra time that it takes to build a real store.
Yeah.
So it's definitely there's a trade-off, and I have a preference. I'd rather solve the problems of having real collaborators versus solving all the test coverage everywhere, like for fake collaborators. That makes me nervous.
Okay.
That's my personal preference. So if I leave a comment on an MR, I'll probably label it as non-blocking unless I feel like, okay, we're significantly losing some test coverage with whatever we're doing. So.
Gotcha. No, thanks for the explanation. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
So this didn't work.
Man, this sucks.
So why wouldn't it have worked? I would think that, and if we do runAllTimers, does it work?
I think it does not.
No, because it hits that.
It hits, I think, let's see. Is it the place where, no, I guess this is whatever.
I think that's right.
I think. So we get stuck here. Huh.
Yeah, I think we're going to, with all that said about mocking stuff, I think we're going to have to mock.
Oh my God.
That's interesting. So I wonder, hey Eipi, how are you?
Good. So what's the can you catch me up? What's the thing that's happening? So it's something with like set timers that's going haywire, or
Laura can probably fill you in.
So we just changed this. We had so we're getting the spec failure is, you know, the timers are going crazy. Basically ran a million timers. We changed the setup to runOnlyPendingTimers. The general setup, and then here we're just trying to get it to pass now with anything, because if we put runAllTimers, then this failure you see on the right happens. It again goes for the run 1,000 timers, and then we tried other stuff. We tried advanced timers by time. Didn't work. We can show you the failure real quick. And this is pretty much the failure we get, I think, also if we have running only pending timers here. But
so the timers are somewhere in our code base there, right? Like in our part of the code base that's doing this fetch thingy or whatever is going wrong, right?
I think so. We have not figured this out yet. So you see, this is the other failure in advanced timers by time. So it's like not enough time, I guess.
Okay. So what is this test actually doing? Default state with merge request.
This one. Calls load merge request.
Don't look in the git blame. You'll probably see me in it.
So probably this test is something that is trying. Okay, I understand now. It's like some component you fill in like the input, and then you expect like a search to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm looking at I'm researching this issue of runAllTimers with lodash debounce, and it looks like lodash's debounce isn't necessarily a trivial implementation. So like they have a lot of things they've put into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Means that for these fake timers, it's not going to play nicely. So I think
could we mock debounce?
I think that's what we got to do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good call.
So should we go back here to run only pending or run all?
Well, if we mock it, so here's the interesting thing is how should we mock it? We could so some things to consider. We could go ahead and just mock it for everybody. Let's maybe just do it just to this spec if we feel like more things are coming up. What do you think, Eipi? Do you think we should mock it for everybody?
To be honest, like why do you have debounces? Debounces you usually have, to cache like user input or these kind of things. Mm-hmm. This is probably something I could see that you want to test it. For example, let's say you test a drop down or something. But generally, I would say if we have it with these API calls, you basically in the tests just want to have, the thing was called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Laura and I just had this conversation, and I was dropping my personal preference to not mocking things, and now Eipi is representing the other preference. But I agree. I think this falls in the category of things that are hard to test, and so if we do set up a mock, we could even do something interesting where we kind of set up a fake, and where rather than just saying, hey, did we call this, we could even then manually say like, oh, run debounce tick or whatever, and like we can still end up testing it if we have. Either way, we're going to need to replace the real implementation for sure. Let's go ahead and do it globally for everybody. It's probably a good idea.
Okay.
But if we do it globally for everybody, we might have some like manual fixes that are going to be not necessary anymore. Are we cool with that?
Yeah. You mean like we're going to have to go back and change all the ones that were mocked?
Maybe. Like it's probably fine leaving them, but
I mean, we could do it. I've been fixing all the underscore ones like that, but it's all in one go.
Okay.
We could do it. I don't know. Should we try it?
Let's try it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gonna mock it up here.
So if we were going to mock it for everybody, we would add a manual mock in the underscore mocks folder.
Okay.
Do we want to, is that what you're suggesting, Eipi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, debounce definitely is one thing to mock. Yeah, let's mock it for everyone.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Where is that? I'm gonna need.
It's in spec front end underscore mocks, and
Like
under
underscore, like
sorry,
little-
I'm so sleepy.
you've been in the lodash world.
I know. I have been. I got a bit obsessed with it. Okay.
It is 2 underscores, so that might be causing some fuzzy grief.
This fuzzy finder is not the best, and I need to fix it. But I'm just gonna go like this, like the good old times.
Yeah.
Specs, front end, mocks.
Probably at the top.
Yeah, it'll be at the top.
Oh. Ooh,
Yep.
got it.
And so then you'd want to create one called lodash, create a directory called lodash, and then I think we'd create a file called debounce.
That's the question how debounce is required. We could also create a file called index.js and basically re-export lodash apart from debounce.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. All I do know is that when we mock debounce, we end up mocking lodash/debounce. To my surprise, I thought that we would just do jest.mock lodash, but for some reason, we actually specify this inner module when we do a mock for a specific file.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this is going to be the same pattern.
Okay.
But it could very well not be. So let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So we want to export default, I guess.
Okay.
And then a function, and let's just call the function right away.
Okay. So export default. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry, I'm on a couch and the cushions are a bit. Cool. So what are we mocking here then? Export default.
I think it's gonna
function, right?
It's gonna it'll take a function, and then so we'll have a function that takes in a function and then just calls it right away, I think.
Okay. So cool. Sorry, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yep. So I would, if we want to use the arrow notation, I would do export default and then just call it F and then arrow.
And
then call F, so then F parentheses.
Sorry,
No, you're totally good. I'm also not explaining it well.
No, do you guys want to make sure that this works first in this flaky spec? Because I checked it yesterday. I tried mocking it and it didn't fix it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe in this spec. What are we actually testing? I still don't understand. List. Why is there even component in there? Which spec is it?
This is merge. This is an IDE merge requests list.
This one. Run.
IDE. Oh God.
Line 132.
You bring up a really good point, Laura. Let's mock it in here, probably before mocking it globally, and then we can abstract it if it works. That's a real.
Yeah. Hopefully this works. Lodash debounce.
Yeah. But I think we'll need to give it a fake because we do need to call the function we've passed to it.
Okay.
So what debounce will do is
it even imported this way? I don't think it is. Is it?
This is just how we end up for some reason. This is how we end up mocking all of the lodash stuff. Okay. If you do just lodash, for whatever reason, it doesn't work. That's something that.
I mean, we can try anything if you have, another idea, I guess.
No, that's fine.
Cool. I also have no idea why it needs to be like this. Honestly, I looked into this when I was doing the underscore stuff and seemed to be the only way. People said the same thing. The lodash implementation of debounce is not.
So I don't think it's not going to be called because we need to actually fake debounce to call whenever we're called, we return a function. And we need to then immediately call the function that we got returned with. So I think, Eipi has a suggestion.
Okay.
That's at least what I found in other specs.
Okay. Yeah, let's check that out.
One sec, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what we need. Yes.
Oh.
It's a identity function where we're just going to pass the function that we were called to.
Sorry, in the chat, you pasted this?
And I can also paste it in Zoom.
It is. Yeah, it's on the.
Oh, I thought it was on Zoom. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Zoom. I meant Slack. Sorry, it's late.
Sorry. Oh yeah, it's early for me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh man, my Vim doesn't.
You lost the.
Yeah, Vim is being silly, but I can just.
That's it, Ann.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, I was just sorry. This is my Vim problem that I was like, is it? It doesn't pace very well. Okay, cool. There we go.
I'm going to grab a beer.
See you later, Eipi. You're already kicking off the weekend.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Oh man, it's like 10 a.m. for me and even earlier for you.
Yeah, it's a little early. Oh no, what?
Okay, so before I get, is it this or this is fine?
Yeah, but we shouldn't need it now.
Okay. What did you grab a beer?
Yep.
What beer?
It's not a beer. It's actually a cider from Ikea.
Oh,
it's
Whoa.
called
Ikea.
Peron. Yeah, it's pretty cheap and good cider.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
we have the same error as before, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess this did not work.
Why do we clear that fetch merge requests mock? And what is this fetch merge requests mock?
Oh, that'll do it. That's why it's not being called.
Oh, what?
Oh,
What's
sorry.
happening?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's
No,
Eipi. That's such a brilliant observation. I guess what they say about there's an optimum level of alcohol consumption in developers.
I just took one zip.
I know. That's the optimum amount.
Exactly.
Well, because now we're not doing any asynchronous call. It's called right away. But
okay.
I think I wrote the spec. I was clearing it because I wanted to be certain it was only called after the stuff happened. So yes, that's why mocking it's not going to work, because I'm trying to assert that it's asynchronously called.
Okay.
So we need to delete this line. Yes.
Cool.
That was I would not have caught that.
Okay. Cool.
Yes! All right.
Yay!
So
awesome.
I think we can totally abstract this mock globally.
This mock, yeah.
It probably makes sense doing this in a separate MR, but we don't have to really totally do, we don't have to worry about being.
That's true.
We don't have to worry about being, what's process heavy on that. But let's try it out. If we do, let's see if mocking it in the shared lodash will work.
Okay, cool.
So we want to just return actually just an identity function. We want to return X to X is all we need to do, or F.
Okay.
F.
Okay. So do we need any, because maybe I misunderstood everyone, do we need any like lodash debounce stuff here?
No.
I was not totally sure. Okay. Nothing?
No,
Nope.
we should be good.
The only thing that could be is that we need to return a module.exports, because the lodash debounce normally is like CJS, but I don't know if it works.
I don't think that's necessary, because we've seen.
So you don't need a just function there. You just do export default f arrow f or fn arrow fn, and that should be it.
Fn like that?
Or just whatever you want to call your argument, but we don't need
cool.
parentheses.
Yeah, and the parentheses need to be changed.
Okay.
So instead of the parentheses, you just remove them, and you just rename your f to fn. So it's just an arrow function that's.
I might not like, because the directory, I don't know if the directory exists.
Oh,
it might not be why.
Sorry, more Vim.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Again.
I feel you on this. I was using Vim exclusively in the terminal for a while, and then I liked having code helpers.
underscore mocks.
Okay.
Lodash.
Lodash. Cool. Hopefully.
And the F needs to be FN.
Yes, sorry.
No worries.
Oh man. Yeah, I really like Vim, but sometimes my plugins are all messed up. So now it's like can't open and you're stuck here. Okay, just go for the good old touch. Like, you know.
Yeah. And now your computer will say duh, 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 duh.
I know. Cool.
It should do that on like, directories you don't have permission on. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. I have an alias. It's for git push force. I have an alias, git push, and it plays salt and pepper. Push it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh man, I would love that.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to go like this.
No, you're good.
Cool. So how do I get rid of this? Just try to get rid of this file.
You should be able to just :Q it. Wow. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Cool. Oh man. Okay. Back in business. Export default FN.
Do you have to do like a
FN.
cons? I don't.
No, you just export the default function. You don't have a cons.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Thanks for that. No, you're
cool.
Totally... So now let's see if the test, if we got rid of our manual, our mock specifically for that list spec, let's see if the tests work now.
Okay. Can you guys explain to me why this will work?
Because Jest does magic, and basically everything that you have in the mocks, if you have an import somewhere that is basically lodash/debounce, which will be the thing that lodash does under the hood, it will just be replaced by the mock.
Okay, cool. Let me make sure. Cool. Okay. So let's run this again. This is gone.
To be honest, one with those, actually, I like this, but you need to know about this. And the problem is that it's not explicit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, and that's a good point too. I like having test helpers a lot, and I've seen some cool patterns where you can expose things like we're going to use fake debounce, or we have like all these, I could set up each spec to use the fake it needs. And this would, rather than do this kind of manual mocking where it's very magical, like how come this just works?
Yeah.
I can explicitly declare that we're going to use a fake debounce. And that's really cool. Maybe that's the approach we want to take, especially because this is like a utility function.
To be honest, on the other hand, it's like with all these Axios stuff, like every time you're mocking Axios, when you will, for example, never mock Axios, right? Or when won't you mock Axios? And we still have to do these setups and tedious things all the time. I think Jest should maybe do a better job in explaining that to you, that it's mocked, or maybe our documentation should just be better and be like, hey, we have a bunch of mocked stuff, please look here. And then, maybe our one-line function should have like a nice comment inside that explains, hey, debounce messes with timers, which we don't really need.
That's please, a really good idea.
If you need it, use require actual, and then you can use it in the test, something like that, right?
Yeah. I saw a very contentious GitHub discussion about it, where somebody was angry because they're like, lodash shouldn't have that responsibility, blah blah blah. But people got a bit too heated. I think they're just cooped up.
This is good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we fixed it, and we've done some global settings, which could be nice. I'd like to get your opinion, because I don't really 100% know what to think about it, Eipi, but if you look at our global test setup, we have this after each callback where we run all timers. And this is a really good thing because our goal is we want a spec that's gonna be flaky. We want it to fail for that specific spec.
Yeah.
But we did run all timers, which does this recursive call of flushing out everything. And I think we really only want to do run only pending timers so that we're a little bit more graceful if we have a debounce like still around or something like that, and not blowing it.
I'm just going to read up really quickly on difference between run pending timers. Okay, so if you have like a recursive timer, like for example, you set up polling, it now would fail.
Okay.
Or is that what you're saying?
No, it would have failed if you did a recursive timer that was like never cleaned up. It would fail.
Yes.
And we have
or before.
Now it's gonna just run the first iteration of timers. That's what run only pending timer does. So runAllTimers, I think, uses only pending timers under the hood. Okay. Now we're just I don't see why we need to do this recursive flushing of things, knowing that we don't have a good pattern of cleaning those things up in our code base, and it's just going to be a recipe for flaky tests.
Yeah.
I feel like the benefit of leaving runAllTimers there does not outweigh the cost of potential flakes. So my suggestion is just let's do run only pending timers, because that was part of the job failure that was happening.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So I've just sent you and Laura the list of all other mocks of lodash debounce that we have, and I would recommend that we run these specs as well, and maybe remove the manual mocks from them.
Yeah. we can run all of Jest too and see how
fixtures.
Well, yeah, if you don't have your fixtures, we'll be here for an hour. So.
I mean, do you guys want to literally just go like this?
Yeah.
Oh, you could do a really fancy. We could do a fancy like grep for the files that have mock debounce and then spread it.
That's what I've done.
Oh, but
perfect.
Eipi's already done this.
I can send you the list. I can clean up the list. You just have to copy the file names from Slack. I've sent it to both of you.
Sweet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I mean, theoretically, now tests could fail where we didn't mock debounce before, right? That's just something that I would be like, hey.
And this is very true, because clearly what I was doing in this test was failing.
You can also give just multiple files, by the way.
Cool. It's not that bad. They're not that many.
Do we want to remove the manual mocks from them?
I would think so.
Okay. Let's do it. This one is components. Oh man, that's not a good fussy.
Search list
branches. Yeah, this one, cool. So removing that and now running that.
The good thing is we can merge it right away, right? Because maintainer is here and reviewer is here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That passed.
It just takes 3 people to get something merged.
Exactly. No, I thought there was a debounce here. One sec. Oh, terminal sync spec is the other one.
Are we, so I want to just get the people in the room's thumbs up. Like, are we nervous about adding too much magic here? Do we feel like?
I think we should add a proper comment why we are, to be honest, like, and if we are doing it with debounce, it also makes sense with the other one. I always forget the name. You know which one I mean? There's like debounce and there's the other one.
Throttle.
Yeah. That makes sense. So we just had this conversation. I get nervous about mocking things because I'm kind of eager with thinking that in terms of what's the components, requirements, and behavior and contract. And to me, debouncing as part of that like contract.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate that the effort, it can be hard to test. And so at the end of the day, it may not be a profitable test of to
be honest, if you don't trust lodash debounce, you shouldn't be using it in the first place.
Well, yeah, but we haven't though, like, it's not that I don't trust lodash debounce, is that we want to really make sure I'm passing the right stuff to lodash.
Yeah.
And that's the part I think that makes me a little nervous, is because technically then I could just say debounce, pass in the function, but don't give a time to it. And that, or
there is a default, right?
Is there?
I think you can just call lodash debounce without a timer.
Or I could even just pass garbage. I could even pass garbage as that second parameter, and the test is gonna fail. Like that's the bit that makes me a little nervous. So
yeah.
Couldn't you just go into the function then and throw an error, and you could weight is 0 per default and options are empty. So if it's not a function, we could even test it in the mock, right? We could say, hey, if it's not a function, throw.
And I think that might be a good call too. I think I like that of maybe if we I think that's interesting. I'm all for mocking it. I just want to double check that you guys aren't concerned about adding too much magic or that we're losing some test coverage kind of thing here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess mocking it like at the top was a bit magical in a way. More explicit magic, but magic.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Like often you could even make the argument that you should stub out like the debounced function, right? Because you're actually not interested in that the debounced function is necessarily called, that the resulting function is called. You're probably happy enough. Maybe I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so there are some. How updated are you? Because I can't find some of these. So
just master.
Okay. You were on recent master, I thought.
Yeah, I was on. Well, yeah, I GTK updated yesterday.
Are you sure that you always took like the EE version, like?
Yeah, like this one, for example. I can't find it.
Terminal sync spec, right? Let me just double check.
Yeah. Okay. I might also not. I mean, maybe I need to GTK update again. Okay, let's start with this.
If you're working on specs, I don't think you need to GTK update. It's probably enough if you just rebase, which should be faster.
Yeah.
If it's not in there, it's not in there. But
we don't have to do everything in this MR either.
We can. Yeah, and I can.
Because this could even make a good community contribution issue of like, hey, we have these manual mocks we no longer need. Let's remove them. So
as you guys wish. As you guys wish.
Well, it's also whatever you want to do too, Laura.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I'm totally happy to like, I'll make sure I rebase and like search for whatever.
Yeah. We have like just 5 minutes-ish left. Do you want to make a commit and go ahead and let's record making the whole MR and stuff too, so that that might be a cool experience for some people in television land. I don't know.
That. Yeah, just gonna fix this flaky spec.
The more we're talking about it, I think having a fake debouncer makes a lot of sense. Like we're already using a fake set timeout, where I do fake set interval. I think we could make our debounce. I like having smarter fakes. I think we could make it a little smarter, and I might make a really small follow-up issue on that, but it's not right now. I don't see it. I think we're making a profitable decision, so I feel good about it. Sorry, I get paranoid about everything, so
it's okay. Sometimes it's good to be paranoid. I mean, otherwise that's how you end up with, security flaws and stuff. Okay, cool. So I will tag both of you in this MR.
Cool.
And so do you want me to find other debounce mocks, or
if you want
do
to,
we want to keep it for community contributors?
I would say let's just create a follow-up.
Five instances, so maybe just do them.
Okay, that's a good idea too.
I'm also happy to do them if you want.
Oh, I can totally do them too. I just didn't find the ones that you put in there, which is kind of weird and making me think maybe I don't have something up to date. But it's a spec file, so it feels weird.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't be up to date. But I can check this though. I've already pushed it up anyway. Huh. Bounce. Debounce. Weird. Okay.
I mean, create DMR, and DMR will tell you how many commits ahead or behind you are. Maybe you have like a master from the future.
Maybe.
Oh, this was a day. This was like, some of these were just done a day ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I will do that then.
Very recent, which, yeah, that's interesting. Cool.
Okay, cool. So I will push this up in like 15 minutes and I'll tag you both there.
Awesome, thanks. And could you also, when we do merge this in, would you be able to announce just our new setup of this is mocked now? Would be cool too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, this was productive. I think we fixed the flaky spec. And feel free to put me as the maintainer on the MR, and we can get it in. So awesome. Hey, thanks, Laura, for driving, and Eipi, thanks for hopping on.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much for the explanations.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.